Jeanne Martin has been described as a golfer, one who occasionally leaves the course to make a recording, appear in a nightclub, clown on television, or make a movie. He recently finished his first straight dramatic role in the movie The Young Lions. Dean was born in Steubenville, Ohio, where he grew up. He started singing with a small band, worked in nightclubs, then formed a team with Jerry Lewis for something like 10 years. The rest, of course, is pretty well-known history to anyone who has seen anything more recent than the Stereopticon. Dean Martin, his wife Jeanne, and the 7 young Martins live in this frame and fieldstone house in Beverly Hills, California. I think it's only about 3 miles from the nearest golf course. Evening, Dean.
Good evening, Ed. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Dean, I've been having some trouble with my backswing lately. Would you show me that one again?
You want my terrible backswing?
Yeah. Looks good from here. Might help me. Dean, how true is the often repeated story that Dean Martin is just a little bit lazy, prefers golf to work?
No, that's an untruth, I'll tell you that. I'm so lazy that I'm doing 2 pictures a year, 8 TV shows a year, and I work 10 weeks a year in nightclubs, and I record for Capitol Records, and I do a few benefits.
Kind of a busy laziness, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. But I like to make it look easy.
Dean, I've been told by more than one of your friends here in the East that you only sing 1 song in your latest picture. How come?
Well, this is a straight dramatic role. Incidentally, they have taken the song out of the picture, and there are no songs in it at all now, and it's just a straight dramatic thing, and well, it's my first try, and we hope it's fine. It's with Marlon Brando and Montgomery Clift and the Young Lions, which will be out in March.
Well, maybe this will be the start of a whole new career. In any event, you seem to be spacing your work out so that you have a little time off for some fun.
Oh, yes. Now we can, Jeannie and I can space out our time, but we like to take little vacations, and now I know where I'm going to work, so we space it out just the way we want to. We go down to the Springs at our little home. It's just a small house, and we take the children there. But we have to take them in shifts, you know. About 2.5 at a time down there.
Well, but you have enough room here for everyone, don't you?
Oh, we have enough room here. We squeeze them in. Jeannie?
Evening, Jeanne.
Hi, Ed.
Tell me, is it too late for us to meet all of the Martins?
No, they're getting ready for bed, of course, but I'd like you to come and meet them. They're kind of spread all over the house.
Good.
You let him meet him up there, and I'll take care downstairs.
I'd like you to meet Ed, our baby Gina. Hi, Gina. Hi.
Hello, Gina.
This is baby Gina, who's just 1 year old, Ed.
How are you,
Say
Gina?
hi. Hi, Gina.
Hello,
Hi, Ed.
Gina.
And this is Ricky. Ed, he's 4 years old, and he takes very good care of his sister. Even when she pulls his hair and...
His sister takes good care of him, too.
She loves him. She loves him. Throw a kiss to Ed, Gina. Throw a kiss.
No kiss,
she's
Gina?
most interested.
Much too interested in Ricky.
Oh, she loves him. He's so gentle with her. Uh-oh.
Wonderful youngsters.
Thank you. Oh, Gina, let go. You've got to go to Betty Bye. Say bye-bye. Throw a kiss. Throw a kiss. Atta girl.
Good night, Gina. Good night.
Ed, I'd like you to also meet, Master Dino Martin.
Hello, Dino.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine.
Dino, are you going to play that guitar for us?
I don't know.
Well, why don't you try? Does it have strings on it?
Yeah, it has strings on it.
All right, bang it once or twice, huh?
I can't.
You can't? All right.
I can't.
That settles that.
But he likes to hold it.
Yeah.
Going to grow up to be a guitar player.
Yeah.
Dino, it was very nice to meet you. Who's next?
Bye.
Ed, Dean will introduce the 2 girls.
We have 2 girls. This is Dina Martin.
Evening, Dina.
Speak up, honey. That's it. Like there's no one in the house. Like you usually yell around the place. And Gail.
Evening, Gail.
Good evening.
Now, let's see, Dean. So far, we've met Ricky and Jean and Gina and Dean and Dino, right?
Right
now,
out.
Dina, do you ever get mixed up because some of the names in your house sound a little bit alike?
Yes, sometimes.
Sometimes. Not very often, though, huh?
No, she never hears us when we say Dina.
Gail, you must be the student in your family. That's not homework you're doing, is it?
No, this is my notebook, but I don't do any work in it.
Well, do you decorate the cover like many young boys and girls?
Yes, I do.
What do you have on there?
Flunk now and avoid the June rush. Life begins at 4 o'clock. And Gail plus Elvis.
Gail plus Elvis. I think I understand them all, but I'm not sure. Dean, where's the rest of your small group?
I think they're downstairs. We'll take you downstairs now. So long,
Good
kids.
night, girl.
Good night.
Ed, this is Claudia Martin
Evening, Claudia.
and Mr. Craig Martin.
How are you, Craig? Claudia, I hope we're not interfering with your music appreciation hour.
No.
What were you listening to here?
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll? How about the old dad's records? You listen to them?
The square.
Square, huh?
That takes care of that. Craig, you're the oldest child in the family.
Yes.
Do you want to be a singer like your father?
Well, I like to sing, but nobody likes to listen to me.
Well, there must be one of your brothers or sisters who will listen to you. Anyhow, it's good to have met everybody. Thank you. Good night.
You know.
Good night.
Good. Beautifully done.
Dean,
Yes.
that table rather looks to me as though something can be played on it besides rock and roll, right?
Yeah, we play a little poker here. A few of our friends every once in a while.
Why don't you deal a hand of showdown? $10 for the winner's favorite charity.
All right, you want me to shuffle them?
Yeah, and I'd like to see it. That's better. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Ready?
Right.
All right. This is your hand. You have a 9, king, ace. I have 2 kings, 2 aces. Nope, I got 3 kings, 3 aces, 4 kings.
Yeah, you did shuffle them.
You have 4 aces? I have 5 kings, Ed.
Well, I saw you shuffle them, but
Didn't I?
from this distance I couldn't watch very closely, you know.
Well, I never cheat.
Dean, any really formidable competition in the Hollywood area in the field of poker?
Oh, yeah, we have some wonderful games. We have Frank Sinatra and Ernie Kovacs, Eddie Fisher, Sammy Davis Jr., and Tony Curtis. We play about once or twice a week.
Are they pretty good players?
Well, Frank's a pretty good player. He usually wins because he cheats just a little, not too much, you know. And Ernie Kovacs is a wonderful player, but he has very bad luck. Tony Curtis plays fair. Eddie Fisher is a nice player, but he sings too loud when he's playing, you know.
Yeah.
And Sammy Davis Jr. is a wonderful player.
Dean, we visited all of your favorite poker players, but we neglected to ask them about your skill.
Well, you know, I was a croupier for about 14, 15 years, and they know it, and they insist on playing with me. But I just play regular. That's all.
Jean, with Dean having the boys in for an evening and the 7 children, your kitchen must be a pretty busy place, isn't it?
Oh, Ed, it's very, very busy. As a matter of fact, it's, I would say there are about 14 to 20 every night for dinner. I imagine we use from 8 to 10 quarts of milk every day, around 5 loaves of bread, and the dishes just don't end. The dirty dishes.
Yeah. Well, between family and friends, even with help, do you have time for any community interests?
Yes, Ed, I'm very seriously working with a group called Share Incorporated. And we've just finished building a diagnostic clinic for the mentally retarded children here in Los Angeles. As a matter of fact, it's the only one of its kind in the West, I believe. And that takes all the free time that I can gather up.
And a lot more such projects are needed all around the country, aren't they?
Oh, yes, of course.
Dean?
Yes?
I seem to recall that a few months ago you did a telethon for the City of Hope Hospital, didn't you?
I certainly did, Ed. And this is the wonderful trophy that they presented me with last week. The telethon was last May, and we raised about $800,000. And we're going to do another one this coming May, and we hope it's just as successful as the last one. There's a beautiful inscription here, but right now I don't want to lean over and read it, but I was very thrilled with the whole thing.
Well, I guess that's where that $10 you won for me goes too, huh? Is that right? You didn't name
that's where it's going.
All right.
I'll expect that check, right?
Right.
601 Mountain Drive, right?
Very good. It'll be a lot. Dean
right.
and Jeanne, you two seem to be very fortunate citizens. Big, good-looking family, enough work to fill the icebox, worthy projects to keep you interested in your spare time, few friends to match skill and wits at the card table. Dean, what do you regard as the biggest break of your life?
Well, outside of meeting my wife, Jeannie, I think the biggest and the most wonderful break of my life was meeting Jerry Lewis. We had 10 wonderful, great years, and I enjoyed every minute of it, and I think that was a real lucky break for me.
Well, Dean, a few minutes ago, you and Jeanne told us that it took you about, half an hour to say goodbye to your whole family. Is that right?
It does.
Sure, you know, all the kissing that's going on here. Back and forth,
family.
you know.
Well,
And,
I very much wish that we could stay for another half hour and say goodnight to all of them, too, but will you do it for us?
We will, Ed.
Certainly will.
Thanks very much, Jeanne. Thank you, Dean.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night. We'll be back in a moment.